Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia and this is your weekly dose of mindful tarot coaching. As always, I'm going to take a look at the next week with the help of 6 tarot cards that lie on the table in front of me, and these cards are going to help us to understand what issues and topics are hanging in the air for the next week, what are the challenges and opportunities in this, and last but not least, how can we manage all this in the best way that serves us. Before I start with analyzing the next week, let me quickly recap the current one. I like doing this because it's always good to repeat the lessons, especially approaching the weekend. It is a good idea to recap again, to check in again, to make sure that you don't miss anything. This is one reason. And the other reason why it's a good idea is that if you look back to the week and check in and reflect about how the message of the cards has been manifesting in your life, this way you can understand much more about how the cards work and how the cards work for you as well. And this way you can also develop your very own secret language with tarot. Tarot is a collective symbol system, but it is also very personal and very individual, and therefore it is always a good idea to try to understand how the single cards work for you, right? This is always the most interesting part of it. All right, then, this was about last week, and now, last week. All right, so the last week you may remember that we have had the chance of creating a new order, embracing the energy of the Emperor and also the 9 of Cups. And the way of doing was to find that primal inspiration within you and the long-term purpose that tells you where are you and where are you heading in the long run. And I loved this energy. It was a great fit for me again, and I loved how it has come together in a very meaningful way again. And I can only tell you that yes, it is a good idea to find those primal inspiration, because if you know who are you, what turns you on, and where are you heading to in the long run, this is what is going to help you to create an order in your life that helps you to become the master of your own life. I loved it so much, and I really hope that it helped you too. All right then. So this was last week, and now let's take a look at the next week. And the next week is very interesting because this time 4 out of 6 cards refer to some kind of frustration, delays, and the like. But let's get started with the first card. And the first card that signifies the main topic of the week is a reversed magician. The magician is a super potent card. This is a very potent male energy, and it is about conscious manifestation. It is about creating. It is about putting your skills and talents together in a very conscious way, using them in a smart way in order to create something new and cool. This is indeed what a magician does, knowing that he is the master of his own life and he has everything he needs in order to create and to manifest. This is the good case when the card is in an upright position. Well, the bad news is, guys, that the card has come up reversed, and that tells me that this week the magician energy is going to be a bit out of balance, creating tension, delays, frustrations, and the like. So it can be that next week you as a magician, or your creative energies are going to be out of balance, meaning that you are not going to be able to start something that you would like to. You cannot use your skills and talents that you would like to. You are playing the victim. You are creating loops that are actually leading you to nowhere. And you are, or someone we don't know, is going to create in a negative way, so using the creative energies in a destructive way. These are possibilities, it is a good idea to look out for these and make sure you try to mitigate this kind of energy. The reason for this is also that an Eight of Swords completes this card, and this also refers to some delays and frustration. Normally, the Eight of Swords is about the raw, wide energy that is just like flowing in your life. And every time when this card shows up, you can expect a lot of change in the energy, a lot of happening, a lot of energy, and you can expect to be busy, but in a good way. As you can see here, we can see this energy flowing, we can also see that these are in accordance with everyone. It's a very good orchestrated energy. However, given that this card has come up reversed, we can assume that this is going to be not the case. So this kind of energy is also going to be out of balance, meaning that we may experience frustration, delays, chaos, too much to do, being too busy but in a bad way, and kind of creating stuff that is not really good for us, or again channeling the energy in a destructive or not that constructive way, right? So again, be prepared for some kind of imbalance in the creative flow and to some kind of frustrations and delays. And this is unfortunately also confirmed by the cards that signify the chances and risks this week, because what we have here is a reversed Empress. The Empress is the female energy in the tarot deck. She is the woman, and therefore she also brings in qualities like growth, abundance, healing, taking care of others, creation, birth, and the like. And given that we already had here a reverse magician, I think that the creative aspect of the Empress is going to be important this week again. And given that it has come up reversed as well, we can assume again that this creative energy is going to be out of balance, leading to some frustration, and we are not going to be able to use this in a good way. It can also mean that our female energies are kind of out of balance, creating different tensions. It can mean a lot of things. And this is also completed by a reversed King of Swords. Excuse me. The King of Swords is normally a very, very great card, because it is actually about the the most major representation of the swords energy, right? We talk about swords, so we talk about rationality and the mental things, attitude, thoughts, and the like. And the King of Swords is someone who is very much in balance regarding these things. He is correct, fair, truthful, and he is a very good judge, knowing what is right and what is bad. And he's also in the position, he's also capable of making important decisions. Well, given that he has come up reversed as well, we can assume that this is going to be not the case. So again, we can assume and expect delays, frustration, and the abuse of mental power and energy. And this is a very interesting reference back to the magician here as well, and therefore it is a very interesting confirmation of that as well. So again, putting these two cards together, we can assume and we can expect that we are going to experience some imbalance in those creative energies as well. So again, delays, frustrations, and again, using the mental energy, the creative energy in a manipulative or negative way. And what I can also mention here, taking a look at these two cards where we have two rulers, one man and a woman, I would also assume that there may be some issue with the parents or in the partnership. This is also an interesting aspect. Make sure to consider this as well. And now, last but not least, the question is, all right, how can we make the most out of this chaos, right? This is the good question. And what we have here is a Hierophant. And the Hierophant is an old friend of us here. He has showed up many times in the history of the channel. And yeah, he stands for mentor, teacher, student, master. It is also about confirming and following some institutional rules or adopting to some rules. It can also mean following a religion or a church. And it is also very much about going beyond polarities, taking a new aspect, taking a look at the thing from a different aspect, from beyond, and also in connection, in relation to this, creating your own very individual belief system, right? Because the Hierophant is also about beliefs and values, and picking the beliefs that are really authentic and truly serve you, right? This is also a very important aspect of the Hierophant. And given that it has come up here as an advice, I would assume that what he tells us here, that at the end of the day, you are the master of your own life. So you don't have to be this reverse magician, but you can master your own life if you are ready to adopt and to confirm your very much own belief system that serves you. This is one thing. And by going beyond those polarities and not trying to get involved too much into this chaos and drama what we have seen here that may be caused by these 4 cards, but again going beyond and trying to get the teaching of it, right? This is one thing. The other thing which is interesting here is delivered by a reversed 5 of Swords. And the 5 of Swords is the card of conflict. If you take a look at this picture, what you see is a guy who is picking up those swords, thinking that he has won, and the other ones are walking away disappointed, right? And this is about a conflict situation when someone wants to win at every cost. And this is not a good idea, especially given that this card has come up reversed as well. And this tells me that first, it may be not the best option or strategy to get into the conflict and try to make sure that you are right and try to win at all costs. It may cause you at the end of the day more damage than you would think, and more damage than advantage. And the other thing that I feel here is that it can be also an invitation to get back to the energy of the 4 of Swords, which is the previous card in the sequence, right? And the 4 of Cups is about meditation, taking a step back, taking a break before going on with some challenge. And therefore it can be also interpreted as an invitation to step back and try to consider things from a different perspective, because this may bring you more than, again, being in the conflict and trying to win. All right, then. Now, last but not least, let's take a look at the whole constellation and wrap this up quickly. So, let me see. Okay. So, as signified by 4 cards here, what we can expect next week is some conflict, delay, frustration, and channeling the creative energy in a bad way. also known as abusing your energy or your creative energy. So make sure you try to minimize this damage that may be caused by these cards, and make sure that you try to use your mental and other creative energies in a way that really serves you and others, right? This is one thing. And the right strategy here is going to be try to go beyond those frustrations and conflicts that may be caused by these cards. Try to understand and remember that you are the master of your own life and not the disaster and not the victim. And also, by not getting too much into the conflict and not trying to win at all costs, but try to understand the perspective of others, try to meditate and reflect about the situation, and again, go beyond and find the belief and confirm the beliefs that really serve you in this. And again, I cannot emphasize it enough. Remember that you are the master of your own life, and everything that happens in your life is coming from you at the end of the day. Okay, I know this is a tough lesson. I know that this may be a very interesting week with some weird energies. However, life is not always like this. We are not going we are not here only to have fun, and therefore, even if it becomes challenging, remember that it serves your growth at the end of the day. All right, having said this, thank you so much for your attention. I wish you a great week ahead, and if you liked it, please push the like button, subscribe, and share the video. I'm very happy about this, and I am very much looking forward to seeing you next week. Ciao!